Good morning, students. I hope you and your family are fine and safe at home. Myself, Shruti, welcome you back in this virtual class. In chemistry section, we have started chapter 3rd and we are discussing an important topic that is occurrence of metals and their extraction. All of you are aware that we are having almost 118 elements and out of them 95 are metals. Most of the metals are found in earth crust and aluminium is the most abundant metal in the earth crust and oxygen is the most abundant known metal in the earth crust. We also found that metals are present in the seawater also. They are present in the form of dissolved salts like sodium chloride, magnesium chloride, etc. And according to the reactivity series of metals, the metals that are at the bottom of the series like gold, silver, platinum, they are the least reactive, they don't react with their surroundings and they are found in the free state or in the native state. Copper and silver are there that are also found in the form of sulfide or oxide ores. Other metals are found in the combined states. Metals at the top of the reactivity series are so reactive that they are never found in the free state. And the metals that are in the middle of the reactivity series like zinc, iron, lead, etc. are moderately reactive and they are found as oxides, sulfides or carbonates. So in the nutshell, we can say that there are minerals that are naturally occurring substances from which metals may or may not be extracted profitably. These minerals can be elements or compounds. And ores are the minerals which contain a very high percentage of a particular metal and metals can be extracted from them profitably. We are having few ores and the name of the metals are like aluminium. We are having the ore bauxite, calcium, dolomite is the ore, lead, galena is the ore. For silver we are having argentite, iron, hematite. We can also say this as magnetite. Zinc, zinc blende is the ore. For the sodium, rock salt is the ore and for mercury, cinnabar is the ore. And when we are extracting metals, we get some impurities also. The impurities that are present in the ore, they are called as gangue. For example, silicon dioxide. This is a gangue that is present along with hematite, that is an ore of iron. When we have to extract iron from hematite, we will be getting silicon dioxide as a gangue. Gangue means the impurity that are present along with the ore. Now, the extraction of the metals, the process of extracting metals from the ores, that is called as metallurgy. Metallurgy means the extraction of the metals. Metals have utility only when they are in free state and they are not found in the form of ores. We have to extract the metals from the ores and this process is called metallurgy. For example, if I am having a ore like sodium chloride and I don't have any use of this sodium chloride if I want sodium metal. Now, the main three steps are involved in the extraction of the metals from the ores. First step is the concentration or the enrichment of the ores. Second step is extraction of metals. We will study the extraction of metals turn by turn depending upon their reactivity, the metals at the bottom, the metals at the middle and metals at the top. We will discuss this turn by turn how these metals are extracted. And the last step is refining of metals. Let us discuss first of all the concentration or the enrichment of the ores. Concentration or enrichment of ores. Ores are mined from the earth and are usually contaminated. Contaminated means having lot of impurities around them, such as sand or soil. The process of removing such impurities from the ore is called enrichment of the ore, and it depends upon the impurities and the ore that we have different methods that we are using to concentrate the ores. First method is hydraulic washing. What we do in hydraulic washing is the ore is washed with a stream of water under pressure. This method is also known as gravity separation. The lighter impurities are washed away, whereas the heavy ore particles are left behind, and this is known as hydraulic washing or gravity separation. Another method to concentrate the ore is magnetic separation. As the name suggests that the non-magnetic impurities are removed from the magnetic ore with the help of electromagnet separation like hematite. Hematite is an ore of iron, and that is a magnetic substance. That substance get attracted toward the magnet, whereas the non-magnetic substance is removed from it when the ore is passed through a magnetic belt. Another method is froth flotation process. This process is generally used for the sulfide ores. When sulfide ores are mixed with water and pine oil and mixture is shaken vigorously, the sulfide ore particles get collected in the froth. Froth means you must have observed soap bubbles when they are diluted. So we get a layer of bubbles of soap on the surface of water. Similarly, when we are diluting the sulfide ores, we get the sulfide ore in the form of froth. So the gangue particles are left behind in water, and froth contains the sulfide ore. The froth containing the sulfide ore is removed, and the gangue particles are left behind in water. These are the three physical methods for the concentration or enrichment of the ore. It means these are the three methods that will help us to clean the ore or to remove the impurities present in them. Second step is extraction of metals. Metals present low in the activity series. Metals like copper and mercury are extracted by heating. So this is the ore of mercury, that is mercuric sulfide or cinnabar. When it is heated, then what happens is sulfide ore get converted into oxide and sulfur dioxide gas is evolved. When this oxide ore is further heated, then mercury gets separated and oxygen gas is evolved. Similarly, if we are having copper sulfide, if it is heated in the presence of oxygen, it get convert into cuprous oxide and sulfur dioxide gas is evolved. On further heating copper in the presence of copper sulfide, here copper sulfide act as self-reducing agent. It helps to convert copper oxide into copper and itself get changed into sulfur dioxide. Now another is extraction of metals that are present in the middle of the activity series. The metals that are present in the middle of the activity series are zinc, iron, lead, etc. These are present in sulfides or carbonates in nature. Firstly, these are converted into oxides and then reduced to metallic state. Let us consider that if we are having sulfide ores, the sulfide ores are converted into oxides by heating in the excess of air, and that method is called as roasting. The sulfide ores are converted into oxides by heating strongly in the presence of excess of air. Zinc sulfide, if it is heated in the excess of air, it will convert into zinc oxide and sulfur dioxide gas will be evolved. And if I have carbonate ore and it is heated in the limited supply of air, that process is called as calcination, and carbonate ore get converted into oxide ore, that is zinc oxide, and carbon dioxide gas is evolved. Both calcination and roasting results in the formation of oxides. If I have heated sulfide ore, it has converted into zinc oxide. If I have heated carbonate ore, it has converted into zinc oxide. The oxide ores are then reduced to metallic forms. Reduced means this oxygen will be removed. We are having two methods to remove this oxygen from zinc oxide. First method is by the reduction by using carbon. The roasted ore is mixed with carbon and heated to a temperature above its melting point, and the metal is reduced to molten metal. If I have zinc oxide, I have added carbon to it and start heating. What would happen? This carbon will act as a reducing agent and it will draw out the oxygen from zinc oxide and convert it into zinc plus carbon monoxide. Another method is to reduce that zinc oxide is by using a highly electropositive metal. In some cases, highly electropositive metals such as aluminium and magnesium can also be used to reduce certain oxides like manganese oxide and ferric oxide. These are basically metal displacement reaction. Here, most reactive metal is used to displace the less reactive metal. Just see what happens if I have manganese dioxide and I am using aluminium. The manganese will get separate out and aluminium will draw out this oxygen from it, and it will lead to the formation of aluminium oxide, and we have got the manganese. Another important reaction is thermite welding or thermite reaction. In this reaction, the iron oxide and aluminium, this reaction is between iron oxide and aluminium and it is highly exothermic. It is used to join railway tracks or cracked machine parts. This reaction is known as thermite reaction. Like if I have iron oxide and I am using aluminium, aluminium will draw out this oxygen, iron will separate out and aluminium oxide will be formed and lot of heat energy is produced. This iron can be used to join the cracked part in the machines or in the railway tracks. Now, please revise the concepts that we have done today and do the written practice of all the chemical reactions done till now. Thank you. Stay home, stay safe.